Good morning, everyone. I am back again, finally. For you, I don't think it's going to be that long, but you know, I'm still trying to get back into this whole YouTube thing. So for me, it's been a minute, but we are back today to do more of like a themed reading vlog, which I personally find helps me stay motivated with my reading for these videos because there's an aim, there's an intent, there's a purpose, as opposed to just a rogue reading vlog where I'm just reading, and doing whatever in it. I do prefer filming the themed ones for you guys because I actually stay on track with the filming and the reading. So, with that being said, you guys will already know what today's video is. I'm trying to turn so you can see more of the shelves. You guys will already know what today's video is from the title, but we are going to be doing a how much I realistically read in a week university edition, kind of, because I am in my final few months of my degree. I know. I finish in April. The second week of April, to be specific, is when classes end, and it's the first week of February. I'm nearly done. I'm literally nearly done. But I do have classes. I do have reading to do for said classes that is going to go towards the reading in this video, so I thought we could, do like a university edition, how much I read in a week, realistically. So speaking of university, the first book we're going to try and get through in this video is 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. I do a creative writing and English literature degree. I don't think I've ever really spoken about it, but that is my degree that I am working towards. And this year I picked a crime writing, creative writing class. And so this is a book I have to read for tomorrow's class. I'm currently 28% of the way through, and it is really interesting. 13 by Steve Kavanaugh, I believe, is a very popular, courtroom thriller, I believe it's marketed as, and it's very interesting. So basically you're following two perspectives. Can't remember, one's called Kane. I don't remember the other guy's name, but we're in New York, I believe, and there is this huge crime trial going on. They've likened it to the O.J. Simpson trial. In this made up alternate reality of our world, this guy is like a huge film actor, and he's been accused of murdering his girlfriend and his head of security. And then in this book, we're following the perspective of his defense lawyer. I don't know why I'm acting like the celebrity is a central character. He's really not. The central characters are the defense lawyer for said actor, and then also this serial killer, who we don't really know how he's gonna link into the murder trial just yet, but we can presume, because on the front of the book it says the serial killer isn't on trial, he's on the jury. And what we've kind of seen so far is this guy going to great lengths to get on this jury. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. 28% of the way through. I just got the Audible book on Audible so that we can listen to it, because I'm actually re-downloading The Sims 3, my first love, and we're going to try and play that, and if it works I'm going to download a whole bunch of CC. So I wanted an audiobook for that, and I thought that this would be perfect. But other than that, my immediate reading plans are also The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. My friend just recently read 3 or 4 Olivia Blake books back to back, and was just saying how incredible they are, and everyone says Olivia Blake's books are incredible, and I've had The Atlas 6 on my shelf for a very long time. And I was actually doing this TBR building game thing, and it said read a TBR veteran. This is a TBR veteran. So that's what we've picked. I'm literally 10 pages in. I will not give you any sort of synopsis just yet. I'll wait until I'm a little bit further in. But these two books are the main focus right now. And then once we've, or if, hopefully we do, finish these two books, then we can think about what we're going to read next. But yeah, those are my immediate reading plans. My camera is blinking at me, telling me I only have 3 minutes left of footage time on my SD card, so I'm gonna go. But I am super excited to film this video. I am kind of intrigued on how much I'm going to be able to read per day. So what we're going to do is at the end of each day, we're going to just do a total of pages read, but we may also break that down into audiobook listening time. I'm not sure, but that's the current plan. So I'm gonna go and hopefully play The Sims 3. Everyone pray for me, otherwise I'm gonna be in a mood for the rest of the day. And yeah, let's just see. And we're gonna listen to the audiobook.
As Kane took a seat at the jury stand, he jostled for a position with Rita. She moved along, let him take a seat. He was the last juror, Avril, closest to the house.
Okay, so it's Tuesday and we need to update on the reading that we managed to get done yesterday. So in the end, I only picked up 13 by Steve Kavanaugh and I managed to read 185 pages of that one yesterday. But yeah, nothing else. And I was reading it to get done for today, Tuesday, for my class. And I woke up, did my makeup, and just as I'd finished my makeup, I got a text saying class was cancelled. So that was a great use of my time. No, it was actually a really good book because this morning I haven't managed to speak to you guys yet, but I have finished 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. And I will do like a final thoughts and everything at the end of the video, but I did really enjoy it. And I'm glad I sat down this morning and decided to finish it, even though there was no time rush anymore. But yeah, it was good. I thought it was very gripping. Just, yeah. I'm gonna definitely look into some of his other books. It was unlike any thriller I've ever read before. I haven't read a, like, courtroom crime thriller book before, and I was pleasantly surprised. And I'll definitely look into the rest of the books in this series, because I do believe it is a series. But yeah, I'm very happy with that one, and that is the first book finished for this week. So now we need to decide what we're going to read next. I'm definitely going to read some of the Atlas 6 today by Olivia Blake. I have just been wanting to pick this up since I started it the other day, but I had to finish 13. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be reading more of this one today. As I said, I literally got to page 10. I don't even have a proper bookmark in here. I have a flexi tram ticket from Dublin from a year ago. I don't know why that's my bookmark. So yeah, I have no thoughts on this one, but today is Ali Hazelwood release day. I have the Amazon package right here, so I thought we could open it up together because this is a definite potential for today, or if not, for the week. So let's open it. Here she is. This is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I actually can't believe I'm holding this. This is kind of a thick one. When are you in the way? Yeah, it's actually kind of a thick one. It's like 413 pages. No, 443 pages. This is a big one. This is also her first sports romance. So I think a lot of us are quite intrigued on how that's going to go down because, you know, she loves her, like, STEM romances. So, yeah, this is following a diver and a world champion swimmer. So that will be interesting. And yeah, I'm just very intrigued. I've read all but one Ali Hazelwood book, and it might be surprising to hear that the only one I haven't read is The Love Hypothesis. I know it's like her most famous one. I haven't read that one, but I've read the rest of them, apart from also the novellas. But yeah, I was quite underwhelmed by the last book, which was Not in Love. But before that, Check and Mate and Bride, I really loved Bride and I quite enjoyed Check and Mate, so this really could go either way. I'm hoping it will be better than Not in Love, because Not in Love there just wasn't like an emotional connection between the characters in my opinion, so I'm hoping that there will be an emotional connection between these two. But those are our two options. But while we're on the subject of hauling things, I did just go to TK Maxx, so I thought I'd show you guys what I picked up. This morning we were awoken by Betsy smashing one of our matcha glasses, the Cat Ghosts. If you guys watched any of my more recent videos, that's what I've been making my matcha in. One of them's gone. We have one, but we don't have the other, so it needs a wash. I don't know why it looks so dirty, but we got this new glass from TK Maxx, and it's like the perfect matcha glass size. I'm very excited to use this. It's so cute with little strawberries and daisies and stars on it. Very happy with it. And yeah, we needed a new one. And then I also picked up this, which is a little like heart candlestick holder for my bookshelf, and I'm just going to put like a white candle in there. I think it will look really cute. And then we've been needing coasters. We don't have any coasters, and we're always leaving just like water rings everywhere. So I picked up these ones. They just have like tomatoes and yeah, just tomatoes. Normal tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, all of them. And it came with 4 of them. And they're like ceramic. They're just so cute. And I've been really wanting some coasters. So I'm going to pop one of those on my desk, and then the rest can go on the dining table. And then the last thing isn't super exciting, but we just picked up some vanilla syrup for matchas. We've never tried like a syrup like this. We've been using like actual vanilla. Expensive. So we've got this, and hopefully these will make some really yummy matchas. But that's everything I picked up today. So the plan is I'm going to play a whole bunch of Sims today, to be completely honest. However, I do also want to read, and I think I'll start with the Atlas 6, but we'll see if I want to go into Deep End at any point today. But these are the options, and yeah, we've already finished our first book of the video.
Welcome to the channel. This is crazy. Leah, stop! Never seen these before. Never seen them.
I haven't get the same shit wrong.
No, I actually like it.
Guys, I'm a bit rusty. Subscribe.
Oh, wait, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. Never mind.
Yeah, but you...
Is it the one I said?
Oh, no, I didn't
No,
get
it's
it.
not. It's
What
not.
is
It's not.
that?
It's similar to the one I originally wanted. Oh my god, wait.
Paradox.
No,
Did I not say that?
you did.
You did. You say the paradox.
No, I said the anti-graft.
Oh.
No. We're fucking
Damn it,
liars.
another time.
Why are we lying?
I really want liars. No, you said that. You said that. I absolutely did not say that.
I literally. Winter's Clarity. That's the one I
Oh
wanted.
yeah, that's the one you wanted. I really
What
like.
do you want? Oh my god, the Nightmares. Yeah, that was really
Yeah, that
cute.
was super. Yeah,
I think you're gonna get
like
that one.
These two.
Yeah.
100%.
Please be brown. Please be brown. I get the whitest one. Yeah.
I get the one that's literally translucent.
You ready? First ever blind
I
box,
hear a
guys.
cat. Wait, hi.
Why did I literally say it's gonna be the one that's translucent?
Translucent.
What the fuck? Literally translucent.
Winnie.
Oh my god, what is his name?
Shit,
Let's
get her off.
Misty?
Winnie.
No, really cute.
No, I love
He's
it. But
like,
why is it actually fucking translucent?
That's so silly. Hi, Beans.
Oh, I felt it came with something else.
I love it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so excited.
I'm nervous.
This is what I said! So
Literally
cute. The one I wanted as
That's
well.
so cute.
It's so cute. The star one's also really adorable, actually. Love that.
So
You probably got one of the better ones, or the best one. Let me see him. Creamy Trap, I beg your pardon.
Crazy.
Everything's an in.
It's fine, we can set them all up somewhere and
Yeah.
do like a little drive-by.
But right, are we ready?
Like, excuse you. Good morning, everyone. It's literally 8:35, but Leon had to leave at 8 today for a class, and I have a 9 a.m. tomorrow, so I thought I would just wake up. Normally I would go back to sleep, but I was like, I have to wake up early tomorrow, so if I wake up early today, that will probably like help me tomorrow. But I actually didn't manage to speak to you guys yesterday because, as you would have seen, 2 of my best friends came up to London to see me, and we had just the most wonderful time. It was just so much fun and I love seeing them. I haven't seen Roxy for quite a few months. We didn't tend to see each other very often, but now my friend Anissa is coming to see me quite regularly, which has been lovely. She came last month and then they came this month as well, so that's been so lovely and it was just such a fun time. And you would have seen I showed you some of the books I got and some of my new bookmarks that came in the post yesterday, but I didn't actually manage to update you guys on my Tuesday reading, and now I need to update you guys on my reading yesterday because I didn't think I was going to be able to read anything, but then at about 8 p.m. I just sat down and read for like hours, so I managed to get a whole bunch done. But first of all, we'll talk about Tuesday. On Tuesday we obviously finished 13, which was the courtroom thriller, and we read 116 pages of that one. By the way, this is Kindle pages for 13. I think it's accurate, but it could be a little bit off, so I just wanted to preface that is Kindle pages, but we're just going to go with what it says, because it tends to be good like that. And then we managed to read 40 pages of the Atlas 6 yesterday, which took us up to page 52. Yeah, so with 13 we did manage to finish it. Like I said, I'll give my final thoughts at the end of the video. However, I did find it very interesting and I definitely want to look into some more of this author's work because it was just a very gripping story and nothing that I'd really read before. So that was super fun. And yesterday I literally gave my friends the whole synopsis of the book, and it was kind of amazing how much I could recount of what I had read because that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you read something and it's especially with like a courtroom thriller where there's just so much information. I could remember so much of it and it was actually really enjoyable. But I'll give you my ratings and stuff at the end of the video. And then yeah, we got up to page 52 in the Atlas 6, which was very much just still getting to know all of the characters, what the premise of the book is, you know, where, not even where we're going to be, but just getting to know the characters and kind of what's going down with them, who they are, everything like that. But then yesterday we read even more. I'll put up the little graphic on the screen, but we ended up reading an additional 63 pages of the Atlas 6, which brings us up to page 115. So I would say we're like a decent way in now, and last night when I was reading those additional 63 pages, I got into it. Like those first 50 odd pages I was like struggling to like get through it and find the motivation to pick it up, and then I read those 63 pages and now I'm like, I wish I could read this today, and maybe I can later. We'll get onto my reading plans for the day in a minute. But yep, I don't have too many thoughts, but we're just kind of learning who each character is, their power. We had like kind of an action-y scene that forced them to work together in a way they never have before, which was super fun and interesting, and yeah, I'm enjoying this one a lot so far. And then kind of a rogue one, I was playing Sims and I was like, I kind of want an audiobook to listen to, and I was looking through my library apps and I was looking on BorrowBox, and I saw the audiobook for City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. And my goal for this year is to actually finish all of the main series in the Shadowhunter universe. So I've read The Infernal Devices. I have previously read the first 3 books in this series, but that was like 6 years ago. I don't remember them. So I'm going to reread those, finish off the series, and read The Dark Artifices. So when I saw that they had this audiobook, I was like, you know what? It's time. Let's start the reread. It's time. So we actually managed to get to chapter 7, which is page 107. So we listened to a decent amount of it, and why is it really fun? Literally, why is it so fun? Like, it's not that good. And we all know that the series moves in bizarre ways the further into it you get. But this first one, and this first 107 pages that I read, really fun. Really enjoyed myself. Didn't want to put it down. But then I did to have food, and then I was like, let me read some Atlas 6. And that's when I read the Atlas 6 and got fully sucked into it. But that was all of the reading for the past 2 days. A little bit of a longer talking a bit about that because I had to update you guys on around almost 300 pages I read, I think. That feels crazy. Doesn't feel like I've read that much when you spread it out against all the books. But now I want to talk about my reading plans for the days. So there was a very specific reason as to why I titled and introduced this video as what I read in a week realistically as a university student, or whatever I've actually decided to call it, but something regarding being a uni student. And that is because of today. And today alone. I am a last minute girl. If you need to know anything about me, is that if I have a deadline for something, I will leave it to the last minute. I have a book and a play to read for my classes tomorrow. And we're going to be reading them today. To be fair to me, one of them only arrived yesterday, so I couldn't have read it sooner. It literally, well, I could have read it last night. Well, I didn't. I knew I wanted to read it today. It's just a children's book. It should be fine. And then one's a play, so I was like, I don't need to like read that ages in advance. Anyway, I digress. The first book we're going to be reading is The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald. This is a classic children's book, actually. Like a proper classic children's book, you know, with like the illustrations in it and stuff, like proper classic stuff. When was this written, actually? Well, this guy lived from 1824 to 1905, so it's very much a classic. Here, I think it was written in 1872 or 73. That's when this book came out. This is for, I'm taking a module about children's literature, and that's what this one is for. And to be fair, the font in it is quite large, so I'm hoping to be able to get through it quicker than you would expect. But also it is a classic, so even though it's children's literature, sometimes some of the words you'll be like, huh? Like, what does that mean? Because we just don't use them anymore, you know? But that's this one. Yeah, this is like a fairy tale. You know, we're following a princess, and there's a minor sun, and there's goblins under the mountain, and they're like scheming, and there's a magical ring. Peak children's vibes, you know, and I'm very excited actually to read this one, so much so that I did buy a physical copy of it. I definitely didn't need to, but I also just like love this edition. Like, look how cool. But we're going to be reading this one today in its entirety, I hope, which is 241 pages. Honestly, not that bad. And it's large font, 241 pages, or whatever I just said. Children's literature, it should be fine. And then, now guys, don't be alarmed when I hold this up. I'm not reading the whole thing. But I do have a Greek play to read. I'm taking a module about tragedies. Actually, guys, it's actually my favourite module. I'm really enjoying that class. but I do have to read the Sophocles tragedies. We've read Oedipus the King, we read that last week, we studied that last week, and this week is Antigone. I've never read Antigone. I actually don't even know what the story of Antigone is, but I am excited to read it nonetheless. My plans for today are to obviously finish these two, and then if we can get any more reading done for the other two books, that would be incredible. I also want to play a little bit of Sims, but the day is young, guys. Ooh. Yeah. It's not even 9 a.m. The day is young, you know? So, yeah, we'll just see what we get through, and I will keep you guys updated throughout the day today. Hello everyone, we are back with a candle lit update. I thought it would be fun and atmospheric. So, with my candles and my new variegated pothos behind us, and we are going to update you on all of the reading that I have been doing, because the last time I spoke to you guys was on Thursday, like morning time, before I had actually done any of my reading on Thursday, and it's now Sunday evening. So we have a lot to catch up on and go through, so let's just get started with that. Firstly, on Thursday, just while I was like having my lunch, I listened to 33 pages of City of Bones, and it was just, you know, middle part of the book. Things were happening, but nothing too crazy, but I did have fun reading those pages while I was eating my lunch. And then, of course, as you guys know, it was a uni day. I had a lot of uni prep to do, so we did manage to read the entirety of The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald. Yep, we did manage to read this in its entirety. I don't think I ended up giving this one a rating. Sometimes when I am reading books for uni, I don't rate them because I don't feel like they need one, you know? But I did go to my class on Friday for this, not yesterday, day before yesterday, and it was fun. It was an interesting read. You can really tell that this is kind of the beginnings of children's fantasy as we now know it. Also, Tolkien was heavily inspired for The Hobbit by this book, and you can definitely see that evidence in specifically the descriptions of the goblin's feet. It felt, yeah, I could just see how Tolkien would have been inspired by that. But yeah, read some of this, all of this, and it was good. I know there's a second one. I'm not gonna read it. I don't know if I'll ever reread this, but it was fun nonetheless. I had a good time with it. And then I read Antigone out of this, like, the Great Plays. Antigone is one of the Theban plays by Sophocles, and it is a tragedy. I read it for my tragedies class, and it's definitely tragic. I personally enjoyed it less than Oedipus Rex, if you can even say that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy these plays. I don't know, because it's just such unique and interesting in its themes, and I don't know if it's something that you necessarily enjoy, but I definitely found the first one a more enjoyable reading time, and a lot more interesting. But this one was still good. It's the second ever Greek play I've read. It's the second ever Sophocles play I've read, you know. But it was interesting nonetheless, and I really enjoyed my class on it. And I think the next play we are reading is Agamemnon, which will be interesting. Yeah, that's the next play we're reading. But this was just, it is what it is. You know, the uni reading, it is what it is. Both of them were enjoyable experiences, but, you know, when you're studying a book, I think you just consume it in a completely different way. But nonetheless, that's what we managed to get done on Thursday. So let me go through the numbers. I completely forgot to do that. So The Princess and the Goblin was 241 pages in total, and Antigone was 42 pages. So all in all, on Thursday, we managed to read 316 pages. And then on Friday, we only managed to read, I say only, not only, we managed to read 140 pages of City of Bones. Once again, I was just listening to the audiobook and I had a super fun time with it. I was just reading it on FaceTime with my friend, like half asleep, but it was just such an enjoyable experience, and the plot really started to pick up, and, you know, you were learning things. If you know the plot of this book, it wasn't like the ending, but, you know, you were learning more things about our characters and the future of the plot that we're going to uncover, you know, in the next 5 books. But it really started to hold its own a little bit more, and it was less just build up, you know. That's where we were at on Friday, but it was great. We met Magnus Bane. I remember that much. I remember, yeah, meeting Magnus Bane on Friday, which kicked off like a mini but also big plot point, multiple plot points. A lot happens in this book, I will say, but yeah, we met Magnus Bane on Friday, which was delightful. So yeah, just that was read on Friday, so that was a total of 140 pages, of course. And then yesterday, again, we read 226 pages of City of Bones, which meant that we had finished this book. So I have finished City of Bones, which is book 1 in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I hate, and hate is a strong word, and I know it should be used sparingly, but I hate the plot twist at the end of this book. And I was doing Googling, because you know when it's like, I've already read the next 3 books, I know what happens, I have to know when it happens, I have to know when the stupid plot point is resolved. Guys, book 3 is resolved in book 3. Are you actually kidding me? If you know anything about the Mortal Instruments, and you probably know what plot point I am talking about. I didn't even realise it happened in book 1. I thought it happened in book 2, but it doesn't. It happens in book 1 and it doesn't get resolved until book 3, and it actually makes me feel physically ill inside. Yeah, like I was reading it on FaceTime with Donya that day. Roxy was on Friday, Donya yesterday, and we were like, it's actually disgusting, like I feel sick. So there was that. However, I did end up giving this book 4 stars upon the reread. First time I read it 6-7 years ago, I gave it 3 stars. This time I gave it 4, because it was just a fun and delightful time, apart from like this much of the ending that made me want to throw up. And then we read, hold on, where's it gone? 34 pages of The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake yesterday, and I definitely, you know, was starting to get a little bit more into it. I realised that it's on Kindle Unlimited. My friend Anissa told me that it's on Kindle Unlimited, you know, in the subscription, just book 1, and I think reading it on a Kindle will actually help me process it a little bit more. So I read a lot on Kindle, but I did also fall asleep while reading it. That's no shade against this book. I was very tired, but the Kindle experience was definitely helping, and, you know, I feel like even where I am now, because I have read more of this today, it is just a lot of learning. You're trying to learn what each character's power is, and kind of even right at the beginning you're told like the name of the power, but you're trying to learn what that actually means and how they can use it. And, you know, things were going down and it's definitely getting a lot more interesting, but you're still just learning about everything in this book, to be completely honest. but that gives us a total of 260 pages yesterday on Saturday. And finally today I have been reading a little bit more of this, and I am definitely finding myself becoming more and more invested in the story. I'm almost halfway through now, which is amazing, and I'm hoping to get a lot more of this read tonight. This is kind of the book. I don't think I'll be able to finish it, but this is kind of the only book I want to read for the remainder of this video, which is tonight. This is the last reading I will be doing for this video, because then it will be Monday again, and that is when we started this video, so we will have done 7 days of reading together. So it is almost 8 o'clock. Whoa, didn't realise it was that late. I am just going to sit and try and read as much of this as I can, but if I do struggle with it, I might pick up something else, because I am in a reading mood. But just this book specifically is taking me a minute to get through. But I'm going to try and read as much of this as I can this evening, and then I will come back to you guys tomorrow or Tuesday. Unsure. Depends what I'm doing. But I will come back to you guys and we can round off this vlog and we can see how much in total I am able to read in a week. But yes, I'm having so much fun with this, and I'm going to go and read some more now. Me and Wyn are here to wrap up the vlog, although she's going to disappear in like 2 seconds. But we have finally finished all of our reading for the week. It is Tuesday. Yep, there she goes. It is Tuesday now, so I'm going to just sit here and wrap up everything that we managed to get done. Of course, throughout the vlog, I've been telling you guys how much I've read per day, so I'm not going to recap that. However, I'll tell you guys how much I read on Sunday, and then we can do a grand like total of pages read, and obviously we'll just briefly go back over every book that we managed to finish. So the first book that we managed to finish in this vlog, I completely forgot about this one, I'm going to put a picture of it here, was 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. I read this for university for my crime writing module. However, it was a really good time and it was really interesting, and it's one of the more unique crime books I have read. It was a courtroom thriller crime book. I've already spoken about it, so I won't go into too much detail, but you know, you have dual perspective of Eddie Flynn, who is the defense attorney, lawyer guy, I don't really know law terms, and you have the serial killer, and you're following both perspectives, and you know, there's this big crime that we're trying to work out, but obviously you know from the get-go that the person who Eddie Flynn is defending is innocent, not guilty, and you know, yeah, that you're following the killer basically. And it was very interesting, and even going in knowing that much information about the plot, there were so many twists and turns like near the end, and there were so many plot twists and stuff that really did surprise me, even though you go in knowing what I've just said basically. But it was really good. I don't remember the rating. I'll put it on the screen along with any other information you guys might need, but yeah, it was a really fun time and I really enjoyed that one. The next book that we did end up finishing was The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald. I feel like I just spoke to you guys about this, so I'm not going to dwell on it, but it was fun, but it wasn't anything crazy. I think it would have been more enjoyable had I grown up reading this novel, but I did not. I feel like I'm a little bit too close. There we go. Yeah, but I had not grown up reading it, so that was definitely a different reading experience. But it was fun nonetheless. But I'm more excited for reading to come in the module. For example, this week we have to read the play of Peter Pan. We're also reading Mortal Instruments, The Philosopher's Stone. What else are we reading? There's one more, Noughts and Crosses. Like, it's gonna get more interesting. So this wasn't my favourite, but it was still fun to read nonetheless. And in the same day, again, without sounding like a broken record, we finished Antigone. I spoke a lot on this, so I'm not gonna say anything more other than it was enjoyable, but I've read 2 Theban plays and I'd say it's my least favourite of the 2. But I read both of those. Didn't rate either of them. We can move on. Because then the next book I finished was The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. Well, sorry, City of Bones. I'm in such a bad habit of calling this book Mortal Instruments. It's City of Bones. But we read this. I've already told you guys about how I felt sick at the ending. However, since I have finished it, all I've wanted to do is pick up City of Ashes, so I'm probably going to do that sooner rather than later, because you know what, guys, ultimately it's a really silly, goofy, fun time. No one's here for the serious nature of the book. This book doesn't have a serious nature. No one's here for earth-shattering, soul-crushing, beautiful writing. That's not what we're here for. We're here for a fun time with a fun magic system and silly characters. And that's exactly what you get. And I love it. I love it for that. I gave it 4 stars in the end. That's what I have to say about it, because the ending is horrific. It's so horrific, you guys. Yeah. Horrific. And then the last couple of days, which brings me into Sunday. Oh, guys, I'm doing this all scrambled, but on Sunday we read 79 pages of the Atlas 6. So, yeah, that brought us up to page 223, I believe, of the Atlas 6 come Sunday night. That is where we left it on Sunday. However, yesterday I did end up finishing this book, so I can give you my full, hopefully well-rounded thoughts on this book, which is nice. We did finish it. If anyone is curious, it was 150 pages that I read yesterday to get this book finished. I'm not going to be including that in the total at the end, because we were doing Monday to Sunday, 7 days of reading, but bear that in mind. I did read an additional 150 pages yesterday of this book. So, I settled on a 3.75 star for this one, and I'm going to put my Goodreads review just over here so you guys can have a little read of it if you want to, because this was a very interesting read. I truly think there is no book like this book. It's so unique. Winnie is having some lunch over there, so don't mind that. But I really do feel like there's no book like this book. It is so intellectual, and it had me just like reading it and being like, that was crazy, because there's so many just like profound thoughts interwoven into the prose of this story. It was stunning. However, it did take me until about the 150 page mark to really comprehend even a tiny amount of what was going on. I think we jump straight into the story, and we're following 6 different narratives. One narrative when you're starting a new fantasy book is hard enough. To have 6 different narratives, and you're trying to understand, first of all, this society that we're being introduced to and where they are going, but also who each character is in terms of their personality, but also what each character's power is. It's really a lot to wrap your head around, and I will say it did take me around 150 to 200, no, I would say like 150 pages to really truly feel like I could somewhat understand what was going on. I will never say with confidence that I understood what was happening in this book, because I didn't. Did I have like a rough understanding of what was happening? Yes, but did I also have to check in with my friend a couple of times and to be like, I don't understand the significance of what just happened? Yes, it's definitely a harder book to read. It requires a little bit more of an intellect thinking cap being put on. I think anyone is capable of reading this book, of course, but it definitely was a more difficult one. And there's also some terms and stuff that I guess you could say requires some intertextual reading, some knowledge of Greece, ancient Greece, and Aristotle is required. I say that because they do kind of reference hubris a lot towards the end of the book, which you'll obviously need to know what that means. Just things like that. It's definitely more of an intellectual, interwoven book. However, it was stunning. I know I gave it a 3.75. It's purely for the fact it took me so long to get into it, but it was very interesting nonetheless. I really, really enjoyed it, and I do have the second book here, and I just ordered the third book from Vinted, so you can see me continuing on this series very soon. But that is the final book we finished in this vlog. So we ended up finishing 5 books, and then I can give you guys our grand total for the week. So we started off Monday with 185 pages, and then on Tuesday we had 156 pages, Wednesday was 170, Thursday was 316, that was a big day. Friday was 140, Saturday was 260, and Sunday was 79. And that brings us to a grand total of 1,301 pages read this week. If you want to include Monday's pages yesterday, where I finished the Atlas 6, we would be on 1,451 pages for the week. So we did a whole bunch of reading, and you know what's really interesting, you guys? I didn't feel like I had read that much, which is very interesting because obviously I read loads. 1,301 pages is a crazy amount of pages to read within a week, and I'm very happy with that result. But I felt like I could have done more, which is crazy, but I still am going through a heavy Sims phase this week, so, you know, that stopped me from reading as much. I'm making excuses, and I don't need to make excuses because I read loads, but yes, we are finishing on 1,301 pages read, and I had a lot of fun doing this vlog. I've never tracked my reading in this way. I've never counted, you know, how much I'm reading per day, so that was very interesting to see how much I tend to read on an average. And apart from Sunday, I didn't read less than, I think it was 150 pages, so that's really good. I know that's like a lot for some people that takes them like a month to read, so I'm very happy with myself. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe and do all of those things, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Goodbye!